Hi, I'm Bruce Daisley. I'm the author of The Joy of Work. The Joy of Work is a very simple guide for any of us to try and improve our jobs, to get back to enjoying our work again. Go for a walking meeting. So the idea of someone suggesting another meeting to you might be the least appealing idea ever. But I want to suggest that maybe you try a walking meeting next time. Walking meetings are a fantastic way to improve our imaginative thought, sometimes called divergent thinking, allowing us to come up with better ideas. They also can help improve your energy if you've found yourself sitting at your desk or sitting in meeting rooms all day. My favourite thing about walking meetings is that you might be worried that your confidential discussions are going to be overheard. You can trust the fact that the mafia chose walking meetings as their preferred way of sharing conversations between each other because they said they were far harder than any other meeting to record. Take a lunch break. Sometimes when we're trying to get our jobs done, we try to be a little bit superhuman. We imagine that if we work through lunch, somehow we'll get more done and maybe leave work on time. One of the challenges of that is it seems human brains just aren't designed with that superhuman desire in mind. One of the worst times to find yourself in court is just before lunch. Judges get more judgmental, they get more critical, they're more likely to send you to jail. And it's the same when we're coming to our work. We're a bit more critical, we're a bit more harsh when we're exhausted. In research, those of us who take a lunch break every day seem to report much higher energy levels and happiness levels at the weekend than those of us who try to peck their way through lunch answering emails with a sandwich in our hands. It seems taking a lunch break is one of the best ways to refresh your mojo, to get back to feeling some enthusiasm for your job. Have a digital sabbath. Weekend emails. For so many of us, a growing curse of modern working. A little glance at social media on a Saturday morning, and before you know it, you've seen an email from your boss and you're transported back to your desk. So what can any of us do? Well, the evidence is really strongly in our favour. If you can get some of the evidence in front of colleagues, maybe you can win the debate. The evidence suggests that people who spend their weekends emailing, their stress levels are higher, their creativity is lower, and their collaboration is on the floor. So what can we do? Well, maybe the best thing to do is talk to your team. Build norms about what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. When are the times that weekend emails are okay? And when are the times that a no-fly zone should be operated? What I've discovered with many teams that I've worked with is that by operating a simple set of rules that everyone feels free to police, people become increasingly comfortable with even reminding the boss that there's a no-fly zone and we all agreed that we weren't going to email at the weekend. And the benefit? You get back to being a more creative, collaborative, imaginative version of yourself. Halve your meetings. If someone told us when we were children the amount of time we would spend as adults sitting in meeting rooms pretending to listen to other people, we wouldn't have believed it. And yet here we are. The average British person spends 16 hours a week in meetings, 2 full working days, sitting listening to bosses drone on about last week's performance. But what can any of us do? Well, we need to be a bit more honest. One of the secrets of trying to get a bit more enthusiasm for our work is being honest about what's working and what isn't working. And for so many of us, the biggest drain of our energy is spending time in meetings. Could you reduce your hourly meetings to 30 minutes? Could you reduce your 30 minutes meetings to a chat at someone's desk? How about rather than having a full meeting in the calendar, you just keep a time where you can chat to each other if need be? The evidence seems to suggest the less time people spend in meetings, the happier they are. We spend so much time in meetings, it has such a gravitational pull on our energy levels. And it seems by halving the amount of time we spend, we feel liberated to actually do our jobs. Ban phones from meetings. There was a remarkable story that originated from the turnaround that Uber went through in the last couple of years. A Harvard business professor came in to help Uber turn around some of the issues they had with their culture. The first thing she noticed was that people were spending almost all of their time in meetings, texting each other, messaging each other, and having a back channel of communication. She realised there was no way that they were going to rebuild trust with that back channel of communication going on. So she banned phones from meetings. And there seems to be really good evidence that seems to prove that this has a very strong positive impact on the way we work. The mere presence of phones in meetings seems to reduce our attention. If you have your phone upturned, our attention drops even further. If our job is to get our work done and to feel energized by doing it, banning phones from meeting rooms could be one of the easiest ways to do it. Thank you for watching. The Joy of Work's out now. If you want more details, look in the description below.